Sometimes all it takes is the wrong upgrade to lose money on your house. I really see it too much. Sellers put tens of thousands of dollars into homes thinking they're increasing the value, and then they're confused when buyers don't see the same value, or maybe appraisals come in low, or the house just sits on the market. And not because the home is bad, but because one design choice or something that the buyer just expects doesn't move the needle. And one thing you may not realize is the invisible upgrades. What's that? I'll explain in just a minute. But let's start with one of the most common mistakes I see: converting a bedroom into something else, anything else. And it's usually a big walk-in closet. Now listen, I completely understand why some people do this, especially in the older Atlanta homes where those closets are tiny. It feels like a lifestyle upgrade, but bedroom count is one of the very first filters that buyers use when they search, and it plays a huge role in how appraisers value a home. You essentially just turned a 3-bedroom home into a 2-bedroom home. Now, I know you likely didn't do anything crazy to it, but maybe put shelves on the wall or a closet system, or maybe you put one of those big closet islands in there to give it that glam feel. Technically and legally, it's still a bedroom because it probably has the same little tiny closet and it still has a window. But when home buyers walk in, they see a 2-bedroom home. And whether you realize it or not, you have really hurt the value of your home. Even though buyers like the space, many won't mentally add that bedroom back. They look at it as a job and they can't wrap their brains around turning that back into a bedroom. The second upgrade that causes more issues than people expect is removing the only bathtub in a house. There is no doubt that walk-in showers are popular and they look great. But if your house only has one tub and maybe one bathroom and you take that out, you have just eliminated a big chunk of buyers. Families with young kids, people with dogs, even buyers who simply want the option. This one shows up constantly in feedback, and sellers are almost always surprised by it. Turning the garage into a gym, an office, or a bonus room feels practical. I completely get it, especially if you need the space. But buyers care more about the storage, the parking, and the security. And unless the space was fully insulated, permitted, it's heated, it's cooled, it often does not count as livable square footage anyway, and people just won't see it that way. So you spend real money, you lose garage functionality, and you don't get credit for the square footage. That combination is hard to recover from, and a lot of times when a garage is closed in, it looks obvious from the outside of the home and it just makes the exterior look a little off. Now, this next one is big, especially in the in-town Atlanta neighborhoods: overspending on a master bathroom. I see this constantly, especially in the 1950s and the 60s ranches. Homes where the original primary bathroom is tiny and barely functional for 2 people. And adding a large primary suite can absolutely improve quality of life, but financially, it's one of the riskiest upgrades sellers make. And I know you're probably wondering why, because you have always heard that kitchens and bathrooms are what sell homes. And people almost always tend to over-improve with the finishes, meaning they will go with the marble countertops instead of the quartz or some fancy overpriced tile that no one can tell what it is. If you're going to do this, keep it in line with the rest of the neighborhood. Design matters enormously here, and poor execution can actually hurt resale more than it'll help. Now, this is one that you don't see that often in Georgia, but people still do it sometimes, and they put the solar panels on their homes. Solar panels can make sense, but don't always for resale. A large system might save you money on utilities, but buyers don't consistently pay top dollar for it, and lease solar can be even trickier. Monthly obligations, transfer requirements, and confusion around ownership can scare buyers off, and frankly, they just don't want to take that on. If you live somewhere like, I don't know, Las Vegas, where people have them more often than not, that's a different story. This is just one of those upgrades that really only works if you plan to stay in the home long enough to get the personal benefit from it. And I really recommend paying the solar panels off completely before you sell it if you can. All right, you ready for it? Let's talk about the sneakier, invisible upgrades. New HVAC, new electrical, new plumbing, and especially a new roof. These are all important. They protect your home and they prevent bigger problems. But buyers expect these systems to work and be in decent condition. They won't pay more for a new system, but it does give a home buyer a peace of mind, and you might just get an offer faster than a home that has older systems. But trust me on this, if you just spent $15,000 or $20,000 on a new roof, your home value does not increase at all. And FYI, appraisers rarely give you extra value for them. This is where expectations get misaligned. These upgrades are maintenance. They're not profit drivers. Necessary? 100%. Value boosting? Usually no. And another one that surprises people and they spend a lot of money on is the built-in smart home system. Hardwire, fully integrated tech feels impressive right now, but it ages very fast. Buyers worry about maintenance, compatibility, and replacement costs, and just the overall frustration of that. What feels cutting edge today can feel outdated in just a few years. Flexible, removable tech almost always outperforms for resale. All right, we have to talk about the crafting and the niche hobby rooms. Dedicated gyms, home theaters, craft rooms, they're great if the next buyer wants the same thing, but many don't. Highly specific spaces shrink your buyer pool because home buyers immediately start calculating the cost to undo them. Most people just want flexibility. The easier it is for them to picture their own life there, the stronger your position. Statement landscaping is another one. Elaborate water features, koi ponds, high maintenance designs. Sellers often see the beauty. I do too. I love them. But buyers can see upkeep, expense, and work. In Atlanta, where yard maintenance is already a huge factor, simple and clean almost always wins. All right, and the one that is most likely on your Pinterest board, but it never lives up to the hype, is the open shelving. I get it. It looks great in pictures. In real life, people think about dust, grease, clutter, and storage. Most people want places to hide their mess, not display it. Keeping one accent shelf can actually work well. Removing cabinets usually does not. So here's the best piece of advice I can give you. If you're unsure, find a really good agent that has their thumb on the market and what home buyers actually want. Talk to them, and not someone that'll just say yes to everything you want to do and tell you how great you are and how great your ideas are, but just someone to explain the pros and cons and the potential resale value of any upgrades that you want to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one.